Hi everyone. I thought that I would give you a tour of this Blackboard site since all instructors set up their Blackboard differently. So when you first click on the link to this class, you will come to the announcements page. This will show any announcements that I have, and generally I will give you a new announcement once a week, more often than not if need be. The next button is faculty information, and you will find out all sorts of good stuff about me, including when the office hours are. Here we have the schedule. I have this separate from the syllabus so that you can find it easily. Underneath that we have the syllabus, and I will be doing a separate video going over the schedule and the syllabus. And then we also have the CWI institutional syllabus. Over here we have assignments, and I'm going to do that last because that's one of the most important places that you'll be going. Course documents. You're going to find all sorts of good stuff here, including the Ask the Instruction discussion board. If you have a question, probably you're not the only one. So I have this discussion board for people to post questions, and I will be checking that at least once a day, Monday through Friday. If you go and you see somebody has asked a question that you know the answer to, feel free to answer it. It doesn't have to be me. Also, eventually I'm going to have directions on how to figure out your grade at any time. Because I have makeup assignments, some of those go into the total points and it throws off the points for Blackboard. So the total possible points in Blackboard in my grades is not going to be accurate. So eventually I'm going to get that, hopefully by the end of this week, and I will have that there for you, directions on how to calculate your grade. Here's a video on how I would study for my exams. You might want to watch that. And I have study guides for all of the exams, except for the final. I haven't posted that yet. I also have directions, and then I have examples. So if you click on the directions folder, you're going to see the directions for the various assignments. Below the directions, I have a folder with examples. So when you're first doing an assignment, you're probably not going to be sure what I want. You can come here and check some examples. I have some excellent ones, and I have some that are close but no cigar, so that you can see basically what I'm looking for. Now let's go to assignments. I'm not going to go over all of the assignments. I figure you can do that on your own. I also have directions, as you saw. But I want you to get a familiarity for what you're going to see. So I have learning modules, and when you click on a learning module, you get this lovely table of contents off to the left here. Now you can change how you view this. Like if you click on this button, then it minimizes the table of contents in case that annoys you, and you would rather just click through each of the items that I've posted in order, and I have them in order of how I want you to view them. But it's nice to have a table of contents. For example, if I'm familiar with Blackboard and I don't need to view these how-to videos, I can skip right on to the Connect information. By the way, I am going to show you the Connect information. Let's go forward one. This PDF has all of the information that you need to register for Connect so that you can do your Learn Smart assignments. I also have an icebreaker activity discussion board. You'll need to do your initial post by January 13th, and that'll need to happen by 11:30 p.m. So I've got some other activities here. Now this first week is basically introducing you to the course and the semester, and it is not a representative of what you're going to see in other weeks. So let's go to week 2, which is a good representative. So first off, you're going to see assignments that are not makeup assignments and when their due dates are. So this is kind of an addendum or an addition to the schedule that I have under the schedule button. So you click on that, and you're going to see your table of contents off to the side here, and you're going to see all of these assignments. Now, week 2 probably isn't a typical example of the rest of the semester, because I have all sorts of directions in here that you're not going to see in week 3. You can always find them in course documents, but for the first week, I figured that you would want to have the directions right next to the assignments. And the next thing that you need to be aware of is my grades. Now, I haven't taken any of the assignments, so my grades are not showing up, but when you have performed an assignment, your grade is going to show up here, and if you click on the score, it'll take you to the rubric, which is basically how I graded your assignment, and it's a quick way for me to give you grading notes. Student resources is wonderful. We've got all sorts of wonderful stuff here that you will need to know, including CWI assessment and testing services. You will be taking the exams for this course at the CWI assessment and testing services, either at the Micron Center, which is by Walmart in Nampa, or at the Ada County Center, which I believe is in Quell Court building. Anyway, you can always double check on that one. We've got some tools that can help you out. And then toward the end of the semester, there's a course evaluation. I give you 2 points for doing that because your comments help me improve the course for later semesters. Well, that's it. I hope this has been helpful, and you'll need to watch the video where I go over the syllabus and the schedule in detail.